U.S. President Joe Biden has called for an end to political violence this after Republican challenger Donald Trump was wounded in an attempt to assassinate him. Trump said in a post on social media that a bullet had pierced the upper part of his right ear. Let's bring in now International News Editor Sophie Mokoena, who joins us in studio. So, Sophie, thank you so much for your time. I mean, this is a bizarre incident, to say the least, and I'm sure the entire campaign apparatus is rattled as it is. What is the latest on the story?
Well, the latest is that the person who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump was killed, but secondly, his information is now in public domain. His name is Thomas Matthew Crooks, and he is 20 years old. Apparently, he was registered as a Republican, and at some point in time, he didn't even make a donation to the party. And therefore, what we also know is that President Trump has indicated a while ago that he is at home and receiving medical attention. He is fine, according to the reports. And on the other hand, the investigation is continuing, and they will try to get more information. They've looked at social media. It looks like they will get some information in terms of the background of the person who did this. And therefore, the FBI and also other law enforcement agencies in the United States of America are currently hard at work to try and get to the bottom of this matter, because this is something that might affect the issues related to elections. And therefore, you don't want a situation where you have these kinds of incidents of political violence ahead of elections. But it is not the first time. America, like many other countries, do have its own challenges in terms of political violence. It's not only African countries, because a tendency is to paint African countries as countries where you see some of these incidents, but they do happen in different parts of the world. You'd recall that the former Prime Minister of Japan was assassinated. You know that at some point in time in Israel, the Prime Minister of Israel was assassinated, and therefore these incidents do happen in other countries, particularly the developing countries and also the developed countries.
And Sophie, it's quite sad that this assassin is a 20-year-old Republican, right? And also when we look at the pattern and we look at how security is usually placed in these rallies, it usually extends beyond the rally as well as the parameters of the rally itself. Also because, like, as you rightfully mentioned, you spoke about the history with violence. What does this mean now? Are we likely to see security being heightened ahead of the intensive campaigning that we will see unfolding for the next couple of months?
Yes, indeed, they will do that, and they will do it with all the candidates to ensure that there is security around them. They can't just do it for Donald Trump after this, but I think they are going to tighten security around all the candidates. And also, you know that they will ensure that they get information in advance in terms of scouting the area. That is why when you go to an event where you are going to have high-profile people, you ordinary people and the media, you have to arrive in advance so that there can be those security checks, but also they sweep the area. That's the term that's being used. So sweeping of the area will be tightened to ensure that they don't leave any opportunity for anybody to come up with this kind of action, and to ensure that the candidates in particular are protected, because after this, then you can't take issues light, including other candidates, because you don't know how other people are going to respond to this incident.
All right, so I also want us to turn sharp focus as well into this, because in the latest development, we're also hearing that Congressman James Comer has also reached out to the Secret Service Director for a briefing. So are we likely to see action on this front?
Action, you will see action. Action started yesterday when they went on a proper investigation, and they will continue with that. Members of the FBI and members of the Secret Service who were around him and who were deployed there, of course, they will also be requested to provide more information. But as I pointed out, this is not something new. It has happened many times in the history of the United States of America. You know that J.F. Kennedy was assassinated, and then you know that there was an attempt on Ronald Reagan. You know that there was an attempt on Roosevelt. So this issue of political violence in the United States of America, it is not something new. And therefore, they know what to do because they've been here before. And therefore, I think a lot of work will be done to try and ensure that going forward as they campaign, because you expect them to continue to campaign. For example, tomorrow, Donald Trump is supposed to attend a convention, that is the Republican convention, where they are officially going to nominate or endorse Donald Trump. He has already pointed out that even though this is an incident that is scary, he is going to be at the convention, and when that endorsement is made, we saw high-profile people beginning to endorse him, among them a former South African, Elon Musk, endorsing Donald Trump. So the other issue to watch is that sympathy vote and a swell of people perhaps rallying behind Donald Trump. So this incident might work in his favor with people, human beings. Naturally, the issue of sympathy will play itself.